Good evening. It is evening here in the UK. Um, this is a workshop about learning to listen to your body's sensations. Um, if you've just fast forwarded through 10 minutes of me waffling in the live recording, thank you. If you're watching this somewhere other than Facebook, it's likely that that's already been chopped off because I only just started recording. Let's get to the point. The point is, with both physical pain and emotional pain, your body talks to you in exactly the same way with sensations. And the thing with those sensations is that they are almost, I was about to say almost interchangeable between emotional and physical pain, but we'll get more into that further on. First of all, I want to tell you a little story about my personal relationship with physical pain and, to a degree, emotional pain. Um, all my life, I can always remember my mum having problems with her back, or my dad getting home and being achy and tired after a day's work. And I remember being taught, though I can't remember when it started, that pain was there for a reason. And so, as a rule for myself, I didn't take painkillers, even when I left home. Yeah, and I'm like in my late teens and 20s and 30s. Yeah? I didn't take painkillers. I could have a crushing headache and I'd just go to bed. Yeah? Or I'd have a physical pain and be very gentle and caring about that part of my body that hurt because the pain was there for a reason. And that was a general rule until my body started to talk to me in a lot louder ways. It all kind of started at around about 2008, 2009-ish. And I'd gone from, immediately prior to that, I'd gone from working a job that I really, 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 really loved working for BT. Hello, everybody out there who may know me from my BT days. But anyway, I really loved that job. Loved it so much. Um, but I was a contractor there, and my contract didn't get renewed one year, and the whole department that I was in was dissolved. All of the contractors who were in that department all had to go and find other jobs. And anyway, so I left a job that I really loved, tried a couple of other things, because what I was looking for was like a forever job. So I got a job as a manager at Royal Mail, and weirdly, so my head thought, yeah, I wasn't actually being a manager. I was being like a stand-in postman, um, and doing a lot of physical work, physical postman type jobs, even going out and delivering like special delivery items when the postman came to me and said, "Oh, I can't get there on time." Yeah. So I'd go do it because it was the only way for my delivery office to meet all of those requirements. Dogs moving about. Anyway, so while I was sorting letters and sorting parcels and trying to keep up with all of the physical needs of this job, my hands started to really hurt. And that pain over a period of weeks and then months kind of spread up my arms. And I thought I had problems with my shoulders. I was going for chiropractic treatments, thinking it was like trapped nerves and stuff like that, and not taking painkillers. In that job at the Royal Mail, there were then like investigations done into my physical capabilities and the what did they call themselves? Occupational therapist people um, came and made adjustments to the way that I was supposed to work. Um, but they were impossible because a rack which you put the post into is still a rack, regardless of whether or not you hold bundles of mail in your hand before you sort them, or whether you have them one at a time down on a surface, which you then pick up one at a time. It was ridiculous. They were impossible to implement. So I got to that point where I was given warnings that I was, hi, Marissa. Hello, hello. Um, I was given, warnings that I was going to be dismissed on medical grounds. And I just kept my gob shut, kept my gob shut, and kept my gob shut because I couldn't afford to be without a job. This job at Royal Mail was like half the salary that I'd been on in previous roles, and we were struggling enough as a family as it was. Um, Eventually, because they wanted to let me go, um, they offered me a redundancy package in late 2011. Yeah, late 2011. And the money amount that they were offering me was actually quite good, given that I'd only worked for them for a little over 2 years. Um, and my husband and I spent that money creating a home for our family. Between being made redundant and when my husband passed away suddenly at the beginning of 2012, there was a 9-month period where I spent all day, every day, unless he was off doing something like collecting wood or whatever. I spent all my time with my husband, and I will be forever grateful for those months together. Because once he was gone, um, I really started to struggle with emotional pain, obviously, and physical pain. And the combination of them both together was making my life really, really difficult. And after what seemed like endless tests and investigations and procedures, I got this diagnosis of fibromyalgia and ME in November of 2012. Now, the three main issues that I was dealing with at the time were physical pain with no apparent cause, physical and mental exhaustion, and um, a suffocating brain fog. Yeah. It was like my head was made out of marshmallows and I had to fight for every bit of interaction with the outside world. And the tools and techniques that I've learned through, this pile of certifications has helped me beyond measure because I now have a really deep understanding of what physical pain is. And to me now, physical pain and emotional pain, but they are a signal from my body that I choose to listen to in a very individual and personal way. Just having a quick look for questions. No, can't see anything. Yes, I do take medication, quite a lot of it in some people's opinion, to support me. But I have learnt through all of those months of confusion and distress to have a really deep understanding of my body. And training as a somatic, which means of the body, training to be a somatic coach made absolute sense. Absolute sense. Little stat for you. You know your nervous system, yeah, with your brain sat on the top of it and your spinal cord and all of those nerves branching out to all of the organs inside your body, right the way down to your fingertips and the tips of your toes, yeah? That is a system. It's a nervous system, a system of nerves. And that is the physical way that your body communicates with your brain. But did you know that it's only 20% of the signals that are being transmitted around that nervous system come from the brain to the body? And 80% of all of the signals in that nervous system go from your body to your brain. Yeah. When I'll give you an example. When you think to yourself, right, I'm going to take this hand and I'm going to reach out and I'm going to pick up that pen. Yeah. I'm going to give you some ideas of the kind of feedback that goes on, right? So your mind has this wish to pick up this pen, right? I'm going to use this hand to do it, this hand to wave the pen around, right? So I'm thinking to myself, okay, right hand, it's got to pick up the pen so that I can write something. And immediately my fingers close in together as I move them down because I don't want to bash my microphone or bash my keyboard. Yeah. And I didn't think consciously, okay, curl up your hand so that it's smaller as it moves towards the pen. I didn't think that. Yeah. It just happened. And as I move my hand down, when I stop and become aware of it, there's a movement of the fabric of my jumper on my arm and on the little vellus hairs. Yeah. So I feel that sensation goes from my body to my brain. And all the while, my brain is just going, pick up the pen. Yeah. My body is giving all of this feedback. And when my hand gets to the pen, can you imagine the pen is laying on a surface? My fingers hit the surface before they curl in to pick up the pen. And all of those sensations of, right, I'm touching the pen, I'm gripping the pen, I'm now turning the pen so that I can now shuffle it into my hand and write with it. Yeah. All of those sensations are every point that the pen is touching my hand. So right now it's in my fingers and my palm and I can feel it on my thumb. Yeah. As I turn it, I can no longer feel it on the palm of my hand, but I can feel the pen between these two sensations. Allow yourself for a second to just pick up a pen. Hi, Shannon. Nice to see you. Um, yeah, allow yourself to become aware of all of that feedback. Now, I'm now going to tell you another little story. Yeah, that was the story of my connection to my body. This next story is a little story about how I used the tool that was taught to me in that certification, yeah, called the visceral yes and no. Now, the visceral yes and no is where you, and if we've got time, I'll go through it. If I haven't, I might have to do it in another workshop, or you can reach out to me and we'll talk about it. Anyway, I'm hoping that we'll have time. What time is it now? It's 1:15. I'll have to speed up a bit. Anyway, once I had learnt this technique of the visceral yes and no, I decided to test it one day. And it happened when I'd first moved into this house. I had a plumber upstairs destroying the totally unpractical, completely dysfunctional bathroom that was up there. And not only that, but it was ugly. Um, and he called down the stairs and said, have you chosen the tiles? And I'm like, uh, no, haven't chosen the tiles. So he flew downstairs and put me in front of a website and said, right, this is his supplier's website. I should, pick a tile. So the first thing I typed in was the phrase bathroom tiles. And this website returned 48,000 different kind of tiles under that search criteria. And this is just one website. This is not like, all of the websites on the world, or even all of the websites in the UK. Yeah, it was just on this one company's website, 48,000. So I typed in under colour, soft grey. Yeah. And that brought the list down to 15,000. Still in the thousands. I couldn't. At this point, I sat back in my chair and thought, how am I going to really reduce the list here? So I thought, well, I know I want nice big tiles because I'm, like a brick pattern. I wanted like a brick pattern, but I wanted it vertical. So I wanted nice big tiles, this sort of size. So I selected the size. So far we've got bathroom tiles, soft grey, and the size that I wanted, which was a very specific size, by the way. It wasn't a range, it was a specific. And that brought the thing down from 48,000 to 15,000 to 800. And I thought, ooh, that made a dent in it. Yeah. But 800 tiles, even when you're looking at a 50 a page, it was going to take me ages just to scroll through them. So I thought, okay, what else do I want from these tiles? The next thing that I wanted was a matte finish. Because when I take my glasses off, I am blind as a bat, and shiny surfaces are difficult for me to figure out how far away they are because they reflect all sorts of other things. So I put in, or I selected matte finish. And when I did that, it came down to 50. This is good. And I'm bet you're wondering right now, well, where does the visceral listening to your body come in? Wait for it. So at that point, with 50 to choose from, I was scrolling up and down, not making anything remotely resembling a decision. So I went to the price range for it allowed you to put in the square meterage that you wanted. And then you could choose the price range for the whole job, which I thought was really good. So I put in a price range that I thought was reasonable for the tiles. And that came down to 12. So I've come from 48,000 down to 12 different bathroom tiles, soft grey, of the right size, matte finish, within the price range that I thought was reasonable. And I looked up and down these, and there was just two, and I couldn't decide between these two. So I said to the plumber, right, you're going to have to go and get a sample of each of these two. And he was like, okay. So he nipped out, got a sample. And in order to make that final decision, I literally, kid you not, I'm not kidding, not in the slightest. I literally closed my eyes, centered myself, dropped into my body, put my hands on these tiles, and my body chose which tile. Yeah. So that's how I used yes and no to make the final decision on the tiles for my bathroom. And I used the same, the choice was perfect. And it was used downstairs in my downstairs loo at the same time. So let's see what we're on to. We've just about got enough time to do this exercise. Well, actually, we haven't got a time for you to completely do it, but I'm going to give you all of the steps. And I want you to see how far you get. And then you can ask me questions either underneath this video in the Facebook group or send me a message if you've got any specific questions. Right. The first thing to do is to come up with yes questions and no questions, a couple of each. And they need to be really specific yes, no questions, right? Questions that don't work are things like, say, for example, your father's name is David. Yeah. A yes, no question cannot be, is my father's name David? Because your body knows, yeah, that, yeah, sometimes he's David, sometimes he's Dave. One of his friends calls him DD, you call him Dad, yeah? Your body knows there's 5 options, so your body's not going to give you a clear answer. The clear example that I usually give is something like, is animal cruelty okay? Because I get a very physical response to that. Literally, I feel hot on the back of my neck. And my body is saying, no, that is not okay. And you might find that using something like child cruelty or, think of something really quite nasty to be your no question. And then drop in and feel your body's wisdom when you ask your body that question. Yeah. And also, the other way, with your yes question, look for something that is completely undisputable or indisputable, yeah, as a yes question. Do I like the feeling of sunshine on my face? Yes. Yes. Do I love my dog? Yes. Actually, that's reminded me. My no question, my very first no question was, is today the day that I'm going to put my dog to sleep? No. No. It's a very strong feeling. So you're after something just while you're getting used to listening, yeah? You need very strong questions. Yeah. And to drop into your body, I suggest that you sit with your feet planted on the floor, that you concentrate on the way that the chair is holding you up, the way the weight of your body and the seat are interacting. Yeah. So because the surface is holding your body up away from gravity, and your body is sitting down on that surface. So become aware of all of that. Sometimes it helps to, put your hands on your heart, close your eyes, and take a deep breath in through the nose. And allow that breath to go all the way down to the bottom of your lungs. Allow your diaphragm to push your organs down in your body. So you become aware all the way through your whole torso of that breath going in and then going out. Yeah. And bring your awareness out of your head and into your body. Some people find it helpful to imagine like a little mini version of themselves sitting on a chair inside their own belly. Or if you're doing this sat cross-legged on the floor, yeah, imagine that little mini version of you sitting cross-legged in your belly. So you are within, your perspective and your awareness is within your body. And then practice your questions until you become really, really clear on the feeling, the sensations that your body gives you for a yes and for a no. Yeah. And keep practicing them. Keep practicing them. Because you can learn so much from your body's own perspective. Sometimes you can get such a gut instinct, and this is where it comes from, yeah, this gut instinct of whether or not you want to do a certain thing, or whether or not that particular color paint is right for your sitting room. Yeah. You can, with your body, alongside your body's wisdom, make decisions in the outside world. This connection with your body can help you with those decisions, can help you with understanding how you really feel. A lot of people pleasers come to me with this literally overriding, and I'm using that word deliberately because whenever they're asked something, they get this overriding, I have to say yes, I have to say yes, I have to say yes. But if you can learn to listen to your body will give you the answer that you're looking for. Yeah. So if you can't trust yourself to say yes or no, yeah, trust your body. Think of something that you really, 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 really do not ever, hard no, hell no, ever want to do. For me, it's riding on one of those thrill roller coaster things. No, 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 heck no. I'm actually happy standing on the ground, holding everybody's coats, looking after everybody's valuables, and watching their faces go as they go by. Yeah. And when I listen to my body says, hell no. Huh? A couple of little phrases for you to keep with you are, you are not just your body and you are not trapped in your mind. You are mind and body. Yeah. And to bring it back to the pain angle of this workshop, yeah, we started, 25 minutes ago with me telling the story of how I never used to take painkillers because pain was there for a reason. Yeah. But pain is also pain is your brain's opinion of how it is interpreting those sensations. Pain is your brain's opinion. Okay? And the reason why I can say that with strength and clarity is because having been diagnosed with fibromyalgia, a lot of the pain that my body feels is not real. Yeah? My body could tell me with a sensation in the sole of my foot that I've just trodden on something really sharp, like a Lego brick. Yeah? But I'm just sitting here and I've got shoes and socks on. I have not trodden on anything. Yeah? So that pain is my brain's opinion of the sensations that are coming up from the body. Anybody got any questions so far? You're sitting very quietly there on Facebook, and I don't see anything in Zoom either. Yeah, because we're getting really close to the end of this now. So if you need any help with figuring out your yes and no questions for your visceral yes and no practice, drop me a message. If you'd like to learn more about how listening to your body can give you the lifelong best friend that you can always rely on, drop me a message. If you're interested in working with me, let me know. If you have an idea of something that you want me to cover in a workshop like this, every week, live at 5 UK time. So we're now coming up to 5:30. I normally make these workshops about 30 minutes long. The recordings of the lives are always available immediately, or pretty much immediately according to Facebook, in the Facebook group. But as you know, I record through Zoom as well, just to make sure that nothing is missed, just in case Facebook decides to mash up the live recording in the Facebook group. I've always got this as a backup on Zoom. So yeah, pick your poison and either ask me a question, literally, like you've got 10 seconds. 9, 8. Be quick. Be quick if you want a question now, but you can always reach out to me in a number of ways, either on the Facebook group or direct, or wherever you see this video, there's going to be a way for you to contact me. I really quite like that extra sparkle in the background with the blue lights. What do you think? Anyway, squirrel brain. I have squirrel brain today. It's like off on one tangent and off on the other tangent. But the amazing thing about my tangents is they give you chance to ask questions. No? Nothing? Okay, well, it's been fun. I shall see you all again next week, where we're going to talk about emotional pain. We'll probably go over some of this again. So during this week, see how you get on with your visceral yes and no, and see how well it helps you to understand your body's perspective of what's going on in the world. So, bye for now.